Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your March connection session. I am Princess India. Okay. I'm Princess India if you're new. And if you're family, welcome back, my friend. We're going to be looking at the energy between you guys and your person of interest for the month of, March. And we're going to be getting into these cards are popping out really strange. Then we're going to be getting into a more specific spread where we're going to be looking at how your person of interest thinks as well as feels about ya and whatnot or whatever. So I'm going ahead and picking those cards for now. And let's go ahead and jump into the energy for you guys for the month of March. So the card representing Taurus, interesting. We have the Knight of Wands. Interesting, Taurus. That's fascinating. So more or less, Taurus, you guys are more or less in an energy of, wanting to move a little quick, play around a little bit, not necessarily looking for anything too serious. But then on the other side of this, I can kind of see there's a desire to be swept off of your feet. Something that I would give advice on with this, because I don't know, this is just what I'm picking up on energetically. Something I will tell you to watch out for this if it's those of you who are wanting to kind of be swept off of your feet, and I'm going to clarify this just to save us all. But be mindful of that, especially if Taurus, if you're in a place where you haven't dated in a while, and you're kind of new back on the dating scene. I touched on a little bit of this in Aries, whether you're like, if you broke up with someone, got divorced or whatever, and you're newly back on the dating scene, be careful looking for someone who will kind of sweep you off of your feet, like wanting that kind of fairy tale whirlwind romance type of thing, because a lot of times, that could end up being gaslighting with someone sweeping you off your feet, because I always say that, when someone sweeps you off your feet, you're no longer grounded, so kind of be conscious of that. Now, on the other side of this, of course, how I can see this is if, it's Taurus and you aren't really looking for something serious. I mean, I can't fault you for that. If you're not really, if you're just wanting to kind of date different people and get different experiences, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I'm clarifying this, just because this can go two very vastly different ways. So like I said, my Tauruses who are desiring for, your Prince Charming to come and sweep you off your feet, be mindful of that, because, you're not trying to be love bombed. You know what I'm saying? But then those of you, who aren't looking for something serious, there's nothing really wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself, but just make sure that, you aren't misleading people or leading people on, and you're clear about what it is that you're actually looking for. Child, look, it's girl talk that came up. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see it. Okay, it says girl talk, and it says time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. Okay, that kind of weighs that out for me. Taurus is looking like some of you Tauruses really could be just getting back on the dating scene, and you're not really looking for anything serious. So the vibe I would kind of get from that would be, a Taurus person who's dating and, sharing stories, kissing and telling. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, it may be for a lot of you guys that you were in something that was kind of serious. You know what I'm saying? And, you're just having fun, like enjoying the moment now, what is it that the young folks are saying now? Breaking some backs and I don't know slang. I think they say that back is that a thing? Breaking some backs and fraternizing and titillating with other ladies and gentlemen or whatnot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, your person of interest. Oh, okay. Let me cover this up. Your person of interest, they're showing up as the Tower. Okay, wait, hold on. the Tower. That's Scorpio energy. So yeah, so your person of interest has been through some things. I mean, it's looking like for them, I mean, this is a pretty big breakup. Let's just be honest. There could have been cheating involved. Your person could have found out that their partner, significant other, would have you, was cheating. It was bad. You know what I'm saying? It was bad. There's no nice way to say that. But it was shocking. Uh Upset the course of their life, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And they're still heavily in that energy of betrayal. I can't wait to see the energy between the two of you. Wow. Okay. We need to have a conversation, Taurus. The energy between you and your person of interest. Oh my gosh, can you see it? Hold on. It's the Ace of Cups. So there's potential for this to grow into something. However, Taurus, I'm a tad concerned in the fact that you guys are in two vastly different places. Your person of interest is off the tail end of a devastating, I have to say devastating. Your person of interest is off the heels of a very devastating breakup to a connection. And Taurus is not, I don't want to say that you're not taking anything seriously, but it's just more or less that Taurus isn't looking for something too serious. You know what I'm saying? And that's a bit what? I'm gonna say that. That's a bit worrisome. I need to move my leg. My leg's going to sleep. Okay, hopefully y'all don't see my knee. Okay, okay. All right. I had to fix my leg, y'all. My leg was going to sleep. But anyway, you guys are in two very different places, Taurus, because I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with not looking for anything serious, but it's just more or less that Taurus is single and happy and enjoying their lives, their experiences. If you go on a date, it's kind of like if it leads to something, then cool. If not, that's cool too. But I feel with this particular person, you guys are interested in this person, right? Like there's potential that's seen here. This person sees potential in you as well. This is fairly new. So this isn't someone, this wouldn't be for a Taurus where you've been dating someone for like, 6 to 9 months or more, anything like that. This is someone you've either just met. Yeah, it's literally would have to be someone you just met, or at the most you've been talking to them for like maybe 1 or 2 months or so. But the thing I'm gonna say, kind of piggybacking on the energy I was saying before, if this would be a Taurus person, even though with me clarifying it, I feel the energy is more heavily on the other side. If this is a Taurus person where, you're ready to be in a committed relationship and you're looking for someone to sweep you off your feet type of deal, and you are getting those vibes from this person, I would be a little leery about that. I would ask some questions about how their last relationship ended and how long ago that was, because potentially this person it could be like a rebound situation, is how I could say that. It's like them having been through something devastating, because literally what it is that they went through was literally devastating, right? Like, I mean, devastating to the point of like literally walking in on your significant other in the act of something type devastating, or the theme that's been happening with Scorpios and Tauruses since January, of them coming home and the person having like completely packed up everything and left them. It's like a very and I mean, this very well could be a Scorpio for your person of interest, could be a Scorpio, because that has been the narrative, like I said, since January, that's been coming up with Taurus and Scorpio, where it's, the relationship is just suddenly over and it's kind of like hitting you from left field type of deal. I mean, the only other way I could see this is if I'm picking up on old energy where, Taurus was in a relationship with someone, or Taurus broke up with someone. That would be more of a cross-watcher kind of thing. If Taurus left someone, or if Taurus was left unexpectedly. But the place that you're in presently is just, kind of seeing what's out there, so to speak. But if you are dating someone who recently just got out of something, even though they may like you and would want this to kind of move forward, and this is like literally the theme I'm seeing because I did Aries and Pisces before you guys, and their readings were literally like the same thing. But I'm seeing the same kind of energy with Taurus to where it's like you don't have any ties to your past, Taurus, but your person does. Like Taurus's energy is free and clear. The person of interest for you guys is not. So even if they like you and want this to go somewhere, their their energy showing up as this makes their past very much present. So my advice, because I'm seeing you guys come into this is very light, airy, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's just kind of whatever happens type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Just be kind of cautious going into something like this with someone who has that much baggage, because that's really what it's looking like. It's like baggage. They're not over it. And the thing that's kind of concerning to me about this, I don't know, it's just too many implications. And that's the theme I've been seeing so far with the person of interest is the path, the path the past is so heavily present that that can influence how this person is engaging with you, where they could be potentially projecting stuff from their last person onto you. And why that's concerning, because I mean, the last two signs, Aries and Pisces, they were both doing the same thing. The difference with Taurus is I don't see any baggage from the past with Taurus. You know what I'm saying? So you really wouldn't want to get, so if you are coming to a situation baggage free, the last person you would want to fraternize with is a person who's coming in with baggage, because like you've done the work to get to where you're at, they have not, and that ends up putting like a damper on your progress. So just be mindful of that. Now getting into your person of interest, okay, my guides are saying that we'll see in these cards. The only other thing that I could see with this scenario with your person, God, that's fucking terrible. That is, child, this would be probably for one person, honestly. The only other way I could see this panning out, and this would be freaking terrible. And I want to know because I'm nosy. Like I want to say, if this is your story, please tell me in the comments for what it is that I'm about to say, but I feel bad, but I'm nosy. But the only other way I could see this panning out with your person of interest, Taurus, would literally be if like you're and this wouldn't be someone they were dating now. This would be like if you met someone, and this would just be so weird for this to come out as a clarifier of if you resonate with this or not. But the person's partner would have died, right? And they weren't with the person when they died. Like this would be you're dating this guy and or female, whatever. You're dating this person and like they were married, right? And they're divorced, right? So you're dating them because they're divorced. And like say they got divorced 5 years ago. And it's like this person just found out the person they were married to died. You feel what I'm saying? That's the only other way that I could see this. And the person of interest like grappling with the fact of, you know, like they weren't with the person, but it's just like, you know, my ex died. Like I just found out my ex died, and them kind of trying to work through that. And, you know, I know one of my friends this happened to. It was a long time ago, but I know one of my friends this happened to, and it was a very strange situation for her to be in because, like, you know, she didn't have feelings for the dude anymore. It was completely over between them, but he died like suddenly. And it was difficult for her to kind of grapple with the emotions because it's just like she didn't talk to him, didn't have anything to do with him, but it's like he died, and it was like I feel bad, but I don't. And it was something she had to kind of process through because it was just strange, like a strange situation to be in. They didn't have kids together or anything like that. But it was just like, you know, my ex died. Like that's, you know, weird. So that's probably 1% of you guys type of deal. But I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying? And the only other thing I could see with them showing up as the tower is just, you know, on a very mundane level is just something very, you know, Maybe they lost their job or something like that. But that's me really reaching. But anywho, getting into our more specific spread of how your person thinks and feels about you. For those of you who aren't familiar on how it is I do this spread, the first thing we're looking at is their fleeting thoughts. So that's just kind of information that they're weighing, things that are kind of jetting in and out of their mind. Then we're looking at their conscious thoughts, which is what they're aware of how it is that they're seeing you at present. Then we're getting into their subconscious impressions slash projections, which is something they are not aware of about them, that they're 9 times out of 10 projecting onto you. And lastly, their feelings. So the first card out that we have, interesting, we have the World card. And I always talk about the fixed signs with that. So that's Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, as well as Leo, if that is relevant for you. The next card that we have is the Chariot. I need to cover up boobs here. That is Cancerian energy. And this particular deck, for me, that is the sneaking out of the back door card. Even though there's a desire to move forward, that's 2 major arcana so far. The next card that we have, cover up some boobs here, we have the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. And their conscious thoughts, we have, good Lord, we have the Knight of Chalices in the reverse. Fascinating. Okay, so here is the dealio. So in reference to your person's fleeting thoughts in reference to you, and I see this with you as well, Taurus, with this World card. It's like they see very clearly that you're coming into the situation without baggage. Like you're wild and fancy free. You know who you are. You know what you want. You know what I'm saying? You know your worth. You know your value. You know what you're going to put up with, what it is that you're not going to put up with. And looking at that in relation to this Chariot card, I think that's the thing that kind of makes your person of interest feel a bit insecure, because it's how they're picking up. So, okay, I'll say it this way. A lot of you guys, probably all of you who watch my channel, I mean, you're watching a channel where I do tarot cards. So you know about YouTube tarot, right? And generally there's a perception in YouTube tarot that a lot of readers have, especially in love readings, of like the Knight of Wands, right? So most people look at the Knight of Wands as like, the playboy, the hit it and quit it kind of person. They're wild and fancy free, don't want anything too serious. They're here today, gone tomorrow. Like that's like the general, stereotypical perception of it. Now, where that's relevant now, because I mean, I don't personally necessarily see the Knight of Wands like that. I mean, I understand it, but and I mean, I see that more of the Knight of Wands in the reversed, you know what I'm saying? Those characteristics, but upright, nah. It's like, it's just someone who's kind of light on their feet, excited about life, wants to experience different things, but doesn't have, any type of malicious intent in reference to that or anything. But anywho, but that interpretation of the Knight of Wands would be relevant in how it is that your person of interest would be perceiving you. And I say perceiving, not saying that, they're stone cold on, like this is what it is, because we're in fleeting thoughts. It's just that they're not really sure what to make of it yet, which is why it's like in, information to weigh. So it's like on one side of all of this, they see you as someone where you'd be interested or be a good candidate for someone to be in a partnership with, but they also kind of feel like, and I'm saying their perception of you is kind of like here today, gone tomorrow type of vibe. Like, would I open up to Taurus and, them want to commit to me, or are they just looking for, a good time, not a long time? You know what I mean? So they're trying to figure that out. But for the most part, they see you as someone who's very confident in yourself. Like I said, someone who knows their value, someone who's not gonna, put up with any kind of BS from anyone. But it almost feels to me, and this is interesting for a person to perceive you that way. I can totally see that, but it's almost like, and I want to say this properly. It's not that they do. I'm just going to say it. and then clarify it afterwards. It's kind of like them seeing you as you have too much confidence, but not egoic. So it's like a person who has a healthy self esteem about themselves. And because you have a healthy self esteem about yourself, it's like you're not going to put up with bullshit, which is a good thing. Okay. Like that's totally normal. But that kind of says to me that this person has to have some insecurities going on if they feel slightly intimidated by a person who knows their worth and value. You know what I mean? So it's almost like them feeling as if they need to be on their P's and Q's with you, because it's kind of like if they show like a toxic behavior or they say the wrong thing, that you'd be like which, like I said, to me, I don't really see nothing wrong with that. But that's things that are kind of on their mind, where they're feeling like they need to be on their P's and Q's with you, in so many words. And so the same with this Four of Pentacles here. It's like, in a sense, they kind of they see you as someone who isn't necessarily investing too much. Not that you're like holding back entirely, but it's almost like you're in a prove yourself to me kind of energy. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that you are literally like this. This is just information they're weighing, trying to figure you out, in so many words. But it's almost like them perceiving you as like, up here on your pedestal, and it's like, dance, show me that you're worthy of my time. You know what I'm saying? But I honestly feel a lot of that is coming from this person's insecurities, even more so with this Tower. So I mean, whether this Tower is about, I think the person who had an ex that died would kind of be out of this realm. But like, for someone where they were cheated on in the past, or if they have some type of financial upset in their life, like they got laid off or something like that, anything in that realm with your person of interest, they are perceiving themselves as less than in comparison to you. Or like, even a good example would be too, if this is like like, let's say it's a dad, right? So it's a guy who has like kids. He's divorced. He's a single dad. So he's like financially struggling, and he has a kid. And Taurus, like, doesn't have any kids and is like, going on dope vacations with their friends and, enjoying life and stuff like that. This person looking at Taurus, and that's what I mean, like seeing you like up on the pedestal, and it's like, show me that you're great. This person's perception of themselves is like, oh my gosh, I'm a single dad. I live in, this little ratty apartment. I just lost my job, whatever. Taurus is like this dope person, and they have all of this going on. And they may look at me and be like, ew, you know what I'm saying? Even though they like you, type of deal. So it's not that Taurus is, purposefully like closed off or holding back or anything like that. It's just their perception of you is that your expectation of them is to prove themselves. And it's a conflict within themselves, because they don't really feel like, they're already measuring themselves as not good enough in comparison to Taurus. But like I said, this is their perception. It's not that you're actually doing this, because like I said, looking at you guys' energy, I really feel like Taurus isn't even putting that much thought into it. Like, you just out here just living your best life and doing you, and, wanting to enjoy things or whatever. And you're not thinking that deep into it. Even if you, are aware of who this person is and you're interested in them, you're not thinking that deep yet, because you're kind of light on your feet and you're staying light with things, if that's making sense. Now, with their conscious thoughts towards you, being did I say that? I think I said the Knight of Cups. That's not the Knight of Cups. It's totally the Page of Cups in the reverse. But with their conscious thoughts towards you, it's very much, oh, that was a train. Anyway, it's very much giving self-conscious, if I could be honest. Like, I mean, on their part, it's like with them, they're still seeing you in that light of, I could say the wrong thing. And I feel a lot of this, and that's why I can't wait to turn over what their subconscious impression is. And then another thing I would say to Taurus is like, how I heard it in my head is and this is a good thing for my guys that are watching. What I heard in my head was because all my dudes be saying that I be always saying it from a female perspective. But what I heard in my head is a man of few words. You know what I'm saying? So more or less the person of interest perception towards Taurus. So that's Taurus if you're a dude, a Taurus dude. The person perceives you as a man of few words. So again, I don't know. This is an interesting theme. Like it's a like all of the signs that I do always have a theme, but the theme that I'm seeing in the connection session so far that's strange for that to be a collective thing. It's very much like it's like a wall that's up in so many words, to where it's like very hard to read people, So it's still with this person, they're trying to learn about Taurus. They're trying to garner information about Taurus. They're trying to get like a feel on who or how you are. But it's because Taurus isn't really saying much. And like I said, this feels fairly new to me. I think that's a good thing if you're just newly dating someone. But I feel that this person is really dealing with something inside of themselves. Like I said, their self perception, their own insecurity, because it's feeling like, and I kind of don't like that, to be honest. But I mean, that's a bias on my part because I kind of look at it like, of course, when you first meet a person, everyone has a representative. You're always going to put your best foot forward and try to show, like, the best parts of yourself. But with this person, it feels, and I hate to use the word obsessive, but it kind of does feel obsessive. But I mean, not like, creepy, scary serial killer kind of obsessive. You know what I'm saying? But it feels obsessive like you're doing too much. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're doing too much to try to impress someone. And it shouldn't be all of that when you just meet a person, because we all have flaws and faults and little quirks and weird stuff about us. But it's almost like it's obsessive, not about Taurus, but it's the person self-obsessive, to where it's like, I'm afraid to make a mistake. I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing. And it's like disaster thinking, because it's like, of course, sometimes you'll flub up and say something silly or do something silly. You know what I mean? But it's going to the extreme of thinking like, oh my gosh, like I need to make sure that I don't do this or I don't say that, because if I do this one thing wrong, then they're never going to want to speak to me again. And I don't know, like that's weird to me, to just be dating a person and to be that obsessive over it. And like I said, on the contrast side, Taurus isn't even thinking that much into it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Taurus, you're like over here living your best life. You may have went on one date or something like that with this person, and you're like, oh, they're cool, they're interesting. And then like you go back to life and this person is over here like, oh my gosh, they didn't text me back. It's been 25 seconds and Taurus hasn't texted me back. That was such a stupid text. Why did you say that like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're in that kind of headspace, but it's a little worrisome for me, because it's like, why are they like that? You know what I mean? Why are they so obsessive over you? Right? And your perception of them, if you guys just met, you know what I'm saying? Because that says to me that there's a lot more going on with this person, which is not very much a good thing with this Tower card if the person's been cheated on in the past. Because if I were to go with that narrative, and this is like partly me putting my therapist hat on the side of my psychic reader hat, it's like translating the energy signature I'm picking up on into like, my therapist worldview. This says to me that this is a person who, I mean, 9 times out of 10, we all have natural insecurities, but it's like being a little insecure, getting into a relationship, hypothetically coming home, finding your wife sleeping with this other guy, right? And this other guy is vastly different than what you look like. You know what I'm saying? Because even like looking at the card, right? Like you have like this little scrawny, guy, receding hairline. And then you have this other dude who's like cock diesel. He has a 12 pack. You know what I'm saying? He's vastly different than what it is that, you look like, right? And so now it's this insecurity of like, I'm not enough. Like, I don't have a six pack. I have a dad bod. And this guy, had a six pack. Speaking of this past relationship, right? So this person breaks up with this person, but they bring this complex with them of like, I don't play sports. I'm not that funny. I'm tall and lanky. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's something wrong with me because, my last partner wanted to be with someone like that and they've internalized it, right? So that relationship is over, but now they meet Taurus, and Taurus has something in common with their ex in the sense that, Taurus is, I don't know, into makeup and traveling and designer stuff. And I'm just saying this hypothetically, but there's similarities between Taurus and the past person. And even though you just met them, because you are into travel and I don't know, beauty, and their ex was, it's like they're already measuring themselves up as them not being good enough for you because of their very shallow knowledge of you and their perspective of a person like that. You know what I'm saying? And where that's concerning is that can lead to a person being controlling, and who are you talking to, and where are you going, and well, how long are you going to be there, and I don't like those friends. You know what I'm saying? Because they're kind of wild and crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that's something I have to say to Taurus, because I mean, I am a fellow Taurus here. I'm proud of you guys for the energy I'm seeing of you coming into this situation, because it's very light on your feet. It's no baggage. I would hate to see you guys, be open to dating. It's like, yeah, I'm ready to date again, right? And you end up with someone like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate to discriminate, but I mean, I do, because I feel like when you do your personal work, why would you want to date somebody who hasn't? You know what I'm saying? That's gross. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sitting over here like self-loathing with, and mind you, we all have issues, but it's like, why would you want to date someone who hasn't dealt with their shit when you have? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a therapist in real life. I don't want to be a therapist to somebody I'm dating. Like, that's gross. You know what I'm saying? Deal with your stuff. So just kind of be conscious of that, Taurus, because a Taurus that would be watching this, I feel this is so new with this person. I mean, if you listen to your discernment, you may be picking up on stuff like this from this person. Like, they seem a little insecure. They be a little damn nervous. You know what I'm saying? Because you wouldn't know if you haven't texted them back yet if they're over here freaking out about the text. Because I mean, that's a red flag if they're just like, are you there? Did you get my text type of thing? So I feel like a lot of the stuff that's going on with this person, I mean, maybe you could pick up on a little bit of it energetically, but for the most part, you have no idea all of this is going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? But my advice would be to kind of take stuff slow with this, because I don't know, like, this early on, this is a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, anywho, their subconscious impression / projection. Good Lord, wait. Okay, let me cover that up. We have the King of Wands here. That's so fascinating. So here's the thing with this person. They're not, I don't want to say they're not a bad person. I mean, they got a lot going for them, right? But they don't see that, right? Because with this being in their subconscious impression, they're showing up as the King of Wands. They don't see themselves that way. They see you that way, though, because they're projecting themselves onto you. You know what I'm saying? So legit, Taurus is actually showing up as the Knight of Wands, which there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But this person is the King of Wands. So they've mastered that energy in so many words. It's like Taurus is kind of in this place to where you're still finding what your ultimate thing is going to be. Like, you're still kind of in this exploring kind of vibe. You know what I mean? I mean, some Tauruses may even be in a place where you're not even really sure, like, do I want a commitment? Do I want to be, married? Like, Where do I want to live permanently? You may even be, thinking about making changes in your career and stuff like that. It's just kind of being light on your feet, bright eyed and bushy tailed, right? But with this particular person, I feel, you know, prior to this situation that they were in, I feel like they had a pretty good handle on themselves, who they were, what they wanted for themselves. But being in this past relationship that they were in, I feel really upset the apple cart to where it's almost kind of like losing yourself in a sense. You know what I mean? It's like, and what I would have to say is, and I think I said this for Pisces person of interest, like what it is that they went through was not small potatoes. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something where, I was dating this chick for a couple of months and found out like she was talking to two other dudes or something like that. It's not anything petty like that. I would literally have to say towards this person, and I said something similar with Aries person of interest as well. So if those signs are relevant, then definitely check those out. But this feels that they would either have to have been married to the past person, they would have to have kids with the past person, or had been living with them, or been with each other for like 10 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a really long term type of thing. And I feel with whatever this is, it was like devastating because that's how close this connection was, like literally devastating. And I feel what it is that they went through altered how they saw themselves. It's almost like they saw themselves as, I know myself, I'm this person, kind of similar to where, Taurus is now, but a little bit more settled in. And however this is that they went through, however this transpired, and like that's why I keep using that example of like them walking in on like a spouse or something like that. Whatever it is that happened, it made them question everything, like who I am, like how I've been, how I approach relationships, how I trust people, how I ended up in this situation, who I thought I was up to this point. It's like this put all of that into question for this person, because this is literally like upsetting the course of a person's life, like rug pulled from under you, blindsided, did not see this coming type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So with this person, they're at a low point within self, so much so that they've lost themselves. Let me just say it that way. Like they're in a place in their life where they have completely lost themselves. They need to go to therapy, child. I'm not even fronting. Like this is a lot of baggage, Taurus. Like they see you as the world upright, they are the world reversed. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a lot going on here, and I would really feel like how they're presenting themselves to you, like I said a few minutes ago, unless you really tapped into your discernment, their presentation to you, you would never know any of this stuff is going on behind all of that. Because I feel like their presentation to you is very put together, very, you know, reflective of, the type of person that you'd be interested in, like someone who's very confident, very self-assured, very talented, very creative. You know what I mean? What is it, charismatic is the word I think I'm looking for. Like they're very charismatic, they're good with people, very sociable. It's a lot of positive traits this person has, but it's like underneath that veneer they are morbidly insecure and unsure of themselves, very just finicky, not really trusting people. And it's this consistent theme I'm seeing, dude, of it's just, and simply put, it's insecurity, but it's needing, and I don't know, this person's looking like a walking red flag towards, I'm just being real. because I said the same thing for Aries and Pisces. It's like it's needing to know where the other person's head is at in order for them to feel a level of security. It's like, I need to know what you think about me and how much you're into me in order for me to feel safe in this situation. And that's like a predatory kind of behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in the other signs, there's a thin line with that. Like I can see it from both perspectives. On one side, yeah, you have trust issues, but in reality, that's something that that person needs to deal with. You need to deal with your trust issues in a very dysfunctional way. An unhealthy way of approaching connections is wanting another person to put all of their cards on the table so that you can feel safe to put out one or two at a time. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of red flag city for me with that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a little bit of like, I don't know, this is the whole thing, y'all. I don't like it. There's so many things that's wrong with this person, because it's like it seems like, little quirky insecure things, but each one of these little things can add up to a huge epic red flag here with this person. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're feeling insecure and you're desiring to be with this person who's secure, it's almost a level of like vicariousness, like the parts of themselves they feel like they lost. It's like trying to vindicate themselves through the work that Taurus has done. Like I don't feel good enough. Taurus is the shiznit. If I align with Taurus, now I'm on the level that they are. But, that seems harmless, right? But it's like, oh, that'll help them build their confidence. No, the downside of that is like once they get on the level that you are, it's like they know the only reason why they're there is because of their connection with you. And then they can start like, like resenting you for that. And then it's like now they want to bring you down a peg. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing I'm saying with this is really strange of how this is coming out. But legit Taurus, this is kind of looking like a forewarning for me, because and that even envelops like how I was saying there's two different groups here. Like if Taurus is the other group I was saying looking for someone to like sweep you off of your feet type of deal, you haven't dated in a while. I can see that group of Taurus very much in alignment with the other group that I was saying that, you're just experiencing life and so on and so forth. I can see both of those enveloped into one group because it would be a warning for both of those people. It's just that the Taurus person who's looking to be swept off of their feet would be vulnerable to succumb to this a little quicker than the other Taurus person. But I still feel like it's a warning for both, because the one who, is just experiencing life, you're not thinking that deep into it to where these red flags this person is showing, you'd be kind of overlooking them because you're not thinking too deep into it. You feel what I'm saying? Like we're just hanging out, we're having fun getting to know each other type of deal. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like this is kind of a forewarning for that, of needing when you're approaching dating people, is needing to be more intentional with things. And if you're getting kind of a funny feeling about stuff, or anything like that, to just be a little bit more mindful and to start asking questions. And I feel the questions that need to be asked in reference to this person is finding out about their last relationship and really paying attention to what's being said here. Like when they're talking about their ex, are they getting like tense? Are they clenching their fists? Are they clenching their jaw? Is their eye twitching? You know what I'm saying? Are they getting a little bit like impassioned in their speech, where they start speaking kind of aggressively about the person? Like, do they look triggered? You feel what I'm saying? Or on the other side of that, are they just like kind of brushing it off? Or are they speaking too negatively like about the ex, or paying attention to the questions and stuff that they're asking you? If you didn't answer the phone and you're like, oh hey, yeah, didn't see my phone ring, what's up? And they're like, oh, where were you? You know what I'm saying? And that sounds so harmless, but it's like just kind of paying attention to stuff like that, because I feel it's two groups of Tauruses that I'm talking to. There's one of you that's kind of oblivious, and all Tauruses are guilty of that. That's a Taurus thing. It's like you're oblivious because you're not taking it too serious right now. So there's things that are kind of flying under the radar. There's others of you where I don't want to say the word desperate, but it's really wanting to be with someone. And this person just really seems like a really great kind of catch type of thing, to where you're overlooking a lot of stuff with this person. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, just be cautious with that. Ugh, that's a lot going on, Taurus. Lastly, child, their feelings, I'm not a fan. Their feelings towards you. Wait, let me make sure there's no boobs. Okay. We have the 8 of Cups in the reverse. So yeah, this is a lot going on. With the 8 of Cups in the reverse, this still feels in the realm of this whole projection energy we were just talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's them kind of feeling like you're love them and leave them, here today, gone tomorrow. I love you today, like I'm kind of over you type of vibe. It's them feeling like you're not necessarily a person who's emotionally invested in a sense. And then this is really weird, y'all, but it's almost like them feeling maybe like and I don't know if this maybe came from a conversation that you guys had or something like that. And I'm not saying again there's anything you did, Taurus. This is how this person is interpreting things. But kind of like if you said something along the lines of like oh, I'm cool with my exes or something like that. Like, I still am like, I don't have any bad blood with my exes. Like, I'm still cool with my exes or something like that. Cause it's the energy I'm picking up with this, where, and this very well could just be a projection, but their feeling is like people from your past, like you still fraternize with them. You know what I'm saying? And this could be coming, like I said, from a conversation you guys had and something that you said and them taking it out of context, or literally them with their whole ex situation. Because I wholeheartedly feel that this person either got cheated on or their person left them for someone else. But I mean, that still technically would be cheating, because how could you leave a relationship for somebody else unless you were seeing them while y'all were together? I feel heavily this person got left for someone else, or they perceive it to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like them and the person broke up, and I don't know, which I mean, that's a red flag too, but that's their business. But either their person left them for someone else, or they broke up and their person immediately ended up like dating someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me to just sum this up, Taurus, this person has a lot of baggage and a lot of like emotions and things that they've been through that they have not processed. But I feel for where it is that my Taurians are, this is not an ideal candidate, in my opinion. It's not an ideal candidate for you, because you're coming in with no baggage. They're in here with a shit ton of baggage. You feel what I'm saying? They have not gotten over what it is that they went through with the last person. And it's a combination of their own inherent insecurities and what they went through with the last person, adding to those insecurities, and them not letting go of what it is that they went through past tense. And they're seeing you through that lens. You know what I mean? So even though they see you as the dope person that you are, a lot of the stuff that they're contemplating on in reference to you is heavily influenced by their last situation. And that's not really fair to you. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're not really seeing you for who it is that you are. So I mean, when we're thinking about a person that you guys would want to pick as a partner, like I mean, if you wanted to pick someone as a partner, this would not be an ideal person. You know what I'm saying? Because you're light, they're extra heavy, and would always be I like if I were to be honest, dude, this person would morph into a person who would be a hella like controlling partner. Like, who you with, where you going, are you wearing that? uh why'd you like that person's stuff on social media? Why are you on Instagram with, all your abs out or all your boobs out type of thing? It would be a lot of that coming from their own insecurities and past experience, and I honestly don't think that's what y'all looking for right now. So I'd be very leery about fraternizing with someone like that. But as I always say, don't take my word for it. Like I said, this is fairly new. So if you wanted to, take time, get to know this person, my advice would just be aware, be cautious, keep your eyes open, ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Don't take things for face value and really get to know this person. Like, you don't want to just go off of vibes. Like, they're fun. I like hanging out with them and not asking very many questions, because I feel like that's something that could end up biting you in the butt later on. You feel what I'm saying? Now I'm going to pick an oracle card for you guys. They have one that fell out while I was talking. I'm gonna take that one too. But the first card that came out for you guys, oh, is that an angel answer? I mean, you can ask a question because it's an angel answer card. So ask a question, like a yes or no question. Okay. And the card is, dang, this reading is long. Jesus. Remain positive is the answer. And I would even go as far as to say with that as well, like, Taurus, if you met this person and you liked them and you are like, wow, I totally was seeing those red flags, and you elect to kind of cut off communication with this person or back off from them, whatever the case, I would say that this remain positive is telling you to remain positive about your love life moving forward. You know what I mean? It's like you got to kiss a few frogs sometimes, especially if you just got back into dating. And the next card is release your ex. So that's for those Tauruses where if your person of interest feels like you're still fraternizing with your ex, release them. No, I'm just kidding. The time has come to clear your energy. So, I mean, that can go a couple of ways, y'all. If some of y'all are still fraternizing with an ex person and you friends with your exes, let them go. And then for others of you, I mean, if this was a cross watcher and I was talking about you this whole time and you still listening, that would be funny. That would be hilarious. And that would be telling you to release your ex. That would be hilarious if this is a cross watcher. But anyway, but yeah, but I feel for those of you where if this is this person, you know what I'm saying? If this is that would be weird. If this person is an ex of Taurus that's coming back into the picture, epic red flag. But this would have to be like an ex from like buku long ago. Like, this would be a person you haven't dated in like years, and you guys ran into each other type of thing. Let them go, child. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the nostalgia get you. But anyway, Taurus, that's been your connection session. I'm about to say soul session. That's been your connection session for the month of March. Most definitely let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know your story. I'll be loving to read them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I love your freaking face. And I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends. And let me know T in the comments. Go ahead, write the T. I want to read it. Who are we talking about? What's going on here? All right. You writing? Good. All right.